This is Vegapunk Slab, and I'm going to tell you why Ulti does have Conqueror's Haki. And if you stick around, I might just show you that Garb has it too. So get comfortable, because here we go. For those unfamiliar, Haki, along with Devil Fruits, is one of the main power systems in One Piece. At its core, it's a power that allows an individual, and in some cases Dugong, to use their spiritual energy in both offensive and defensive combat situations. There are three types. Observation Haki. Broadly speaking, this is a heightened sixth sense. Users of this ability are able to sense the attacks coming from foes and greatly aids them in evading them. Some users can gauge the precise strength of other living creatures and even hear the voices of individuals disappear as they die. Advanced users of this Haki can see a few seconds into the future. Armament Haki. This can best be described as a spiritual shield which covers the body of an individual, or Dugong, or a bazooka that has somehow eaten a Zoan devil fruit. It's One Piece, man. Individuals, dugongs, and alpaca bazookas can not only utilize armament to harden their own bodies, but they can also imbue it in weapons such as arrows, swords, shields, just about anything really. Advanced users of this Haki can project it outside of their own bodies to not only use it in defense, but also bypass the defenses of their opponent and destroy them from within. Conqueror's Haki. This can best be described as what happens when your girlfriend asks you why Chicken Licken is calling you at 1 in the morning.
My cell? The one I'm holding? In my hand?
Yeah, stop. Would you hand me that?
Yeah, she completely dominates your will with hers, you feel dizzy, and more often than not, you pass out. Unlike observational armament Haki, an individual cannot train in Conqueror's Haki. You're either born with the ability to use it or not. And in the world of One Piece, only 1 in several million people are ever born with the ability to use Conqueror's Haki. Now, the question I'm here to answer today is whether or not Ulti, a member of the Toby Robo, is one of those 1 in several million people. So here's what we know so far. As a general rule, when two Conquerors clash, one of several things generally happens. 1. Black lightning shoots out of the point of impact. 2. The surrounding people are affected, and those who don't have enough willpower will pass out. 3. There always seems to be some sort of blinding light emanating from the two individuals. And 4. The environment itself is affected, and if the two individuals are strong enough, the sky itself will split. When comparing armament clashes to this, we find that while black lightning is produced when two individuals clash, neither the environment nor the people surrounding them are affected in any great way. So let me give you some examples. In chapter 434, Whitebeard and Shanks clash. There are a number of things we can take out of this clash. When Shanks boards Whitebeard's ship and releases a burst of his conquerors, not only do the weaker members of his crew start to pass out, but the very ship itself starts to crack under the pressure. Later on, we see that when Shanks and Whitebeard clash sword to sword, the sky itself splits. Now this is pre-time skip, so Oda hadn't really got into drawing the black lightning and lighting effects just yet. So let's take it to post-time skip. In chapter 782, we see Luffy and Doflamingo clash as Luffy tries to protect Law. We see a number of things out of this interaction. Law is almost blown away by the force of the Haki, the plateau itself begins to crumble, and the shading on Law's face seems to give the impression of some sort of light coming off. We, however, do not see anyone paneled as passing out. In chapter 893, Luffy and Katakuri release a burst of their Haki in order to overwhelm Flampe and the rest of her fodder. Again, we see black lightning as the Haki is released. We see a light coming off of Luffy and Katakuri, which shines off of the surrounding environment. And we see the environment itself crumble under the pressure of their Haki. And while we do see Flampe and her fodder pass out, this is by no means a consistent representation. In chapter 963 and 966, when Whitebeard clashes with first Odin and then Roger, we see the same thing happen. black lightning comes off of the point of impact. Bright light shines as the two conquerors clash, and in the case of Odin and Whitebeard, the Whitebeard pirates have to cover their face. In the case of Roger and Whitebeard, it's so powerful that people are literally sent flying. And that also goes into the last thing, which is the impact on the environment. This is something that is very consistent with what happens when two conquerors clash. Now let's compare this with what happens when two armament users clash. In chapter 737, Jesus Burgos and Sabo clash, and while we do see black lightning coming off the point of impact, there's very little damage done to the environment. In fact, the other combatants in the arena, they don't move at all. In 771, Sai clashes with Don Chinjao. Yet again, we see black lightning, but no real effect on the environment or the people spectating on the event. Now I can keep going and giving examples in this regard, but suffice to say, the major difference between a clash between conquerors and a clash between armament users is the impact that conquerors have on the environment and the people around. There is also a lighting effect that armament users just don't get. So while the black lightning is common, it's not the only sign of conquerors. So then, to chapter 983, let's analyze the impact between Luffy and Ulti. The first thing we see is that, as in with all clashes between Haki users, there is black lightning. Now this in and of itself is not enough to give us anything really, but the subsequent panels do. You see, in the next panel, what we see coming off of Luffy and Ulti is a bright light. A light so bright that the beast pirates standing in the surrounding area have to cover their eyes. Now where did we see this before? Oh yeah, Whitebeard and Odin. When Whitebeard and Odin clash, there was a bright light coming over them. The next thing we see is that there's a huge explosion.
Now, if you remember the paneling of Odin versus Whitebeard, you'll notice that the explosion caused by Ulti and Luffy is greatly reminiscent to it. Even the way in which the fodder are sent flying is similar.
Lastly, remember how I mentioned that I might be able to show you that Garp is a user of Conqueror's Haki? Well, if you go back to chapter 719 and analyze the clash between Don Chinjao and Monkey D. Garp, what do you see? Nothing. There's absolutely nothing to see. So Oda deliberately drew a white out in those panels, and I suspect it's because he wants to hide whether Monkey D. Garp has conquerors or not, at least just for now. He'll get to that much later. As far as Ulti is concerned though, I think it's safe to say that we can confirm that she's a user of Conqueror's Haki, and I imagine Oda will explore this in a greater detail as Wano arc continues. What really interests me though is, if Ulti is a user of Conqueror's Haki, who do you think he'll match up with? I mean, I don't think it's going to be Kid. So who else could it be? The only other Conqueror we know in Wano right now is Luffy. So I don't think that's gonna happen again. Maybe? Is this an opportunity for Nami maybe? I mean, I know it doesn't make much sense because of her strength, but because of her personality, this might actually be an opportunity for Oda to create something. Especially with the Momo situation that's happening right now. He's about to be executed. If Nami can't get there, maybe Conquerors will be unleashed. I mean, this could also be Zoro, but I don't think Zoro's gonna fight Ulti. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. If you like this video, do hit that like button, and please do subscribe for more content from me. Stay safe, stay loved, and stay alive. Cheers. If inanimate objects can get a soul through Zoan devil fruit, does that mean Zoan users have two souls? Can they live twice?